Well, here we are. Lesson 26 in our 26 lesson program entitled Leadership at the Points of Contact. Been a lot of fun for me. Hope you've gotten something from our program. In this section of the program, focusing on the 4 characteristics of how success is achieved and sustained in the real world. And the 3 characteristics that we've talked about so far. Progressively, over time, not overnight. Progressively means perseverance beyond the point at which the new wears off. People who keep going when it's not fun anymore. Number 2, a little bit of theory and a lot of effort that people, leaders included, can pretend to be committed to winning. But people can't pretend to do the things necessary to achieve the objectives consistent with their definition of winning. And finally, the third, the one we talked about in the last lesson, some success and some failure. Success and failure will characterize your efforts to achieve and sustain success. Your commitment to doing so is best measured by your responses to your failures, the inevitable setbacks that we encounter. And that brings us to the 4th and the final characteristic, and that is from the inside out. Here are a couple of points about that, and then I'll elaborate a little bit. First of all, the setbacks that you and your associates encounter do matter. I don't want anything that I've said in this program to give you reason to believe I doubt the impact that setbacks have on us. They do matter. But the second point is, I think, even more powerful. The choices made about those setbacks, especially the choices made by people in leadership positions, matter more. The choices you as a leader make, specifically the mental choices you as a leader make about those setbacks, will ultimately have more impact on your organization and its performance than the setbacks themselves. I have said in previous lesson that leadership to me is a 2-dimensional discipline. There's the mechanical dimension and the mental dimension, and to me the mental dimension is far more powerful. The mental choices you make. And I'm going to share an experience that I had not too long ago to illustrate the point that I'm making here. I heard from a professional words that we seldom enjoy hearing, especially from people like, plumbers and auto mechanics, or in this case, a cardiologist. And those words were, I don't like what I'm seeing. Clearly, these words were uttered after the physician had the opportunity to scrutinize the stress EKG I had just taken. And in describing what he didn't like, he told me that based on the performance of the heart, it appeared that there was some blockage and he needed to go in and take a look. And so a few days later, he went in through a procedure and was able to ascertain that one of my major arterial arteries was 80% clogged. The good news is he was able to insert a stent, and I got to go home the same day, and life is back to the way it was before. But here's the point that I'm making about this. There are external factors that impact your organization's performance. Likewise, there are factors that impacted the state of my coronary arteries. There's genetics, there's lifestyle, and there's diet. Well, let's set genetics aside because I can't do anything about that, and that's the bad card I was dealt. Apparently bad genetic code. Lifestyle, exercise a lot, rabid exerciser you might say, and diet. Not particularly good traveling as much as I do, fast food fanatic, wasn't working for me apparently. So you got genetics and diet working against you, the lifestyle wasn't able to cancel it out. The doctor in his parting shot told me something to the effect that where your diet is concerned going forward, if it's got a face or a mama, you can't eat it. That there's going to be no more of this cholesterol-inducing diet. Now, I followed his advice, but here's the thing. Listen to this. Recently read an interesting article in the Harvard Business Review, and the author said that there is a certain percentage of people who undergo either bypass or a stent. Only a certain percentage of these people make significant changes to their lifestyle or diet. What percentage do you think it is? Now, these people are told similar things to what I was told. If you don't change this, you dramatically increase the likelihood of premature death. What percentage do you think change? The answer was astounding to me, 10%. 90% of the people who have these procedures choose not to follow the advice of the professional who can tell them how to prolong their lives. And my guess is the same phenomenon plays out in organizational settings every day. There are processes in your organization that simply do not perform as they did under the circumstances during which, or at the time during which they were formulated. There are processes that need to be improved. My question is, how many of them are being addressed? What sort of choices are you as a leader making about the inevitable setbacks that you and your associates encounter? And if that choice is to do nothing, then you're leaving yourself and your associates at the mercy of circumstances and events and factors over which you have absolutely no control. But I am absolutely convinced from what we've covered together in this course that you now have the tools available to you to take a different path. Let's look at the action items that conclude not just this lesson, but our time together with this program. I want you and the members of your leadership team to identify 2 or 3 external factors that have the most impact on your organization's performance and success. 2, how much control do you have over those external factors? 3, next, I want you to identify the internal processes that help you deal with those 2 or 3 external factors. And number 4, finally, using the material we've covered together, I want you to do the things necessary to achieve and sustain success from the inside out. And those include things like consciously creating a hero-friendly culture, expanding and enhancing employee engagement, and facilitating the relentless search for better ways. When you do those things, you will be providing dynamic leadership at the points of contact. I've enjoyed working with you on this program. If you have any questions about the services we provide, if you would be interested in my coming to your organization and spending some time with you, the members of your leadership team, and your staff, I hope you will give us a call or contact us at the information you see on your screen. Thanks again, and best wishes to you.